to the step back, step back, lay it back. Yeah, I'm mad.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of Talking My Teams. This is your boy, the Mayor, speaking, alongside my main host, my boy, LG. What up, LG?
Man, what's happening, fans? What's happening?
Ain't shit right now. Yep, what we're going to do, as we promised in the last episode, we're going to bring you our draft recap. We're going to go over the first round or so. We're not going to kill you with all 7 rounds. We're going to talk our team's draft picks, and we'll give a little rating out on our team. Unfortunately, again, it's the Cowgirls and my Philadelphia Eagles. Then we're going to get into a couple other things that are breaking out in the news right now. Maybe a little Manziel, we really don't want to, but you know what? Y'all got to hear it. Y'all got to hear it from us too. Little Michael Sam news. Shout out to him and his whole movement, even though it shouldn't even be a movement right now because the boy promised us that it was going to be all football, but we're going to save that for later. But LG, how about you kick us off with, we're going to go off the first pick of the first round, the man that we called correctly because the freaking Texans would have been stupid if they didn't, but they did, and that's the man, Jadeveon Clowney, excuse me. The man is 6'6", 266, beast out of South Carolina. I mean, obviously we thought this was a great pick. What do you see out of this?
I still think it was the most solid pick that they could have made because at this point, I mean, he solidified his draft status last year. I mean, even before playing out the rest of the year. Because this year, I mean, if we got to keep it real, we got to keep it all the way 100 on talking my team. I gotta say he took this year off. I mean, the man only had 3 sacks and he played almost the whole season. But I guess when you solidify your status as being number one, you got to take a couple plays off. You got to reserve and keep us in the tank for the pay time.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not going to save it for the field because obviously that's months and months away. But yeah, preserve your body, be as healthy as you can. Like we said, he kind of took off on the combine. His pro day was whatever, but like I said, like we know, everybody knows this boy is legit. He's going to be a solid pro for at least the next 10 to 15 years. I personally see it, barring all injury, but I believe he's going to be okay. Then we have number 2 pick. We got the St. Louis Rams, who they got from the RG3 trade. The RG3 deal from the draft picks of a few years ago. And they picked up the offensive tackle, Greg Robinson. I say smart move, even though I thought they would go Sammy Watkins, I called last episode. But yeah, I say good pick. What do you say?
I really thought they might go somewhere else, but this is a safe pick because I mean they got a lot invested in Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford is one of those stock kind of guys. Like I mean, he needs to be upright to compete, and Greg Robinson is going to do just that. I mean, their offensive weapons, I mean, they still got weapons in place. They just got to keep Sam Bradford healthy. And that's pretty much all the Rams can do and hope for at this point, especially in their division.
Yes. And then we had, at the third pick, we had the Jacksonville Jaguars. I remember you called, last episode, you called that Khalil Mack was going to go there. Unfortunate for the boy, he got picked up somewhere else. We'll get to that in a minute. But they went quarterback, which, a lot of the quote-unquote experts out there thought was questionable. And think, why did you go quarterback? Why would you go? Because that damn franchise needs a fucking quarterback. So they went with Blake Bortles. And that was a kid that we were raving about from first show. And I honestly feel that that's the start of something decent down there. Let the kid grow. He's already got that North Florida fan base because his school is not too far away. And I think that he'll be legit eventually, as long as they keep building. They're not going to be like the Jaguars of Tom Coughlin days, but you know what? This was a good, solid pick, smart pick. They didn't go for the flash. They didn't just go for ticket sales. That was a move, in my opinion. They let people know that we're here to play football, and we're not here to fuck around with anything else. What do you see?
That was my kind of surprise pick at the draft, just seeing Blake Bortles being the first quarterback off the board. But I have to say, I did call that. I called that a couple shows ago, thinking that Blake Bortles was going to be the first quarterback off the board.
Yes.
Because he's raw. I mean, he's a natural talent. He's a prototype quarterback. I mean, he's 6'5". He's a big guy. I mean, he's ready for the league right now.
Yes.
And him going to the Jaguars kind of just solidifies something that the media kind of played out. Because Blake Bortles kind of stopped being in the conversation for about a week leading up to the draft.
Right, because it was all Johnny.
All Johnny, all Jadeveon, all maybe Bridgewater might come out, and Derek Carr. And Blake Bortles just kind of just sat back and just kind of let everybody think these people are better than me, but I know I'm going before any of these fucking dudes.
Right, exactly. And you know what? Good for the kid. You know what? Small school, you don't have to be from the big school all the time to show that that you're worthy. And the Jacksonville Jaguars felt he was worthy. Just like our next pick at number 4, this was the point of the draft that just made me sit up in my couch over here and think shit just got interesting. When the Cleveland Browns traded down to the Buffalo Bills for the Bills to move up to the number 4 spot so they could steal a new toy for E.J. Manuel and Sammy Watkins. Now, Sammy Watkins got some big shoes to fill because this same stupid-ass Buffalo Bills team decided to get rid of their best receiver in Stevie Johnson, which sent them off to the San Francisco 49ers for, I don't remember, it was supposed to be for a 3rd or 4th round pick. I don't remember if it was a conditional or not, but pretty much, he went for nothing. My opinion is he went for nothing because that 3rd or 4th round pick isn't sure money usually on a roster like the number 1 or number 2, 1st or 2nd round pick. So, that they probably could have just picked up a body and said, okay, we'll wait till week 2 of the preseason and then we'll cut this kid, which means that they got what's the name for free. But hey, replace speed with speed, and Sammy Watkins was obviously the best receiver in this class. For him to go number 4, for Buffalo to think that highly of him to move up to get him, I think a good steal for them. I don't say that it's going to improve them that greatly, but I say very good steal.
Now, as far as the way we were rolling with our mock draft, we didn't really have anybody trading out of positions because those are things that you really can't call. Those are kind of the what makes the draft really interesting and what a must-see event every year. The fact that the Browns traded out the Bills to get Sammy Watkins told me a couple things about the Bills. Number 1, they felt that either Stevie Johnson or Robert Woods were lacking last year, so they had to replace one of them with Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins was the clear number 1 receiver in this entire draft class.
Yes.
He's the outside the lines kind of dude. If you kind of think about it, he's really like Julio Jones. I think he has a little bit better hands.
I don't know. Julio's hands are kind of nice if the boy can stay healthy though.
Julio's hands are nice, but he's got to get back to being healthy. Also, it told me that another thing that they were actually comfortable with their tight end, Scott Chandler, because in our mock draft, everybody had Buffalo Bills picking at number 8 and picking Eric Ebron.
Right.
Which didn't go down. As far as Stevie Johnson being gone, Stevie Johnson can produce in the right situation, and I think San Francisco might be the right situation for him because Colin Kaepernick can only make so many more plays with his feet before he starts getting the Michael Vick disease.
Yes. yes. Well, you know what I would say, man. More power to you, Sammy. I think you're going to do your thing up there in that cold-ass weather. Maybe they'll name a couple new buffalo wing sauces or flavors after you or something.
Probably.
You never know.
Dreadlock rocket chicks.
Okay, and then at my favorite number, but not my favorite team, number 5, we had the Oakland Raiders, the Al Davis-less rest in peace Oakland Raiders. Where this draft, I'm just calling off this first round, but then checking their other moves, like them picking up David Carr in the second round, like they showed like this team finally's got a real GM. So and with the other moves they made this off season, they might be making some noise, especially the things that they picked up on defense this offseason. And now they got at the 5th pick Khalil Mack, guy that nobody expected to fall, even fall this fall, which is amazing. And to say that somebody fall into just number 5 is a big fall. Like, that's crazy. But they got a sick outside linebacker with a high motor who, I was hoping that he didn't get sent to the Jaguars, and luckily he didn't. So Khalil, you're gonna be able to do your thing out there in Oakland. The black hole's gonna love you out there, and I see big things for this kid. I wouldn't mind seeing a nice run from Oakland too, man. That's old school real football team out there, man. And hopefully he can bring some of that luster back, man. I like this move a lot. I like it a lot. I like it a lot, a lot, a lot.
I have to agree. I mean, Buffalo. I'm sorry, not Buffalo. Oakland. The black hole just got a little darker because you picked the Buffalo Beast. This dude is definitely gonna. He's a natural pass rusher, and to have him on that same defensive line with Justin Tuck. Justin Tuck. I mean,
peanut head Tuck.
Yeah, he does have a
definitely got a peanut head.
He looks weird.
He looks like just like my man Mahadi though. No bull. Shout out to you, Mahadi. That's old school Port Richmond.
Wow, man, that's track
yeah, down here track. He played football. I knew him from the neighborhood and all that, but him and Justin Tuck got the same head.
But Khalil Mack, I mean Oakland. I mean let's call a spade a spade. Oakland, your bum ass is still only making the playoffs, but I mean you're gonna be vastly improved. I mean last year would you win like 5 games? So this year you may win like let's say 7. Let's say Buffalo finishes at 7-9. Let's say that's the improvement that they're gonna look for, because they still, even though they drafted some new pieces, they still got some old pieces that they also acquired over this past offseason.
Yeah, so we're calling for a bum ass season from the 4th and 5th pick of Buffalo and Oakland.
Yes, if EJ Manuel can stay healthy and he could use some of that rocket on his Sammy Watkins is better than a lot of these DBs that got drafted out here. But not all of them, but a lot of them.
Right. And speaking of getting better, we got the Falcons at 6. They took Jake Matthews, offensive tackle from Texas A&M, one of Johnny Manziel's personal protectors. 6'5", 308. I can't complain because, like I said in the last episode, all offensive linemen should be picked in the top 10, hands down. This kid was needed for the quarterback over there in Atlanta, because that kid couldn't fucking stay off his back. He needed the help. They needed the help. He needs more time back there to get the ball with Julio Jones and Roddy White. As long as both of these brothers are at least healthy to run routes for this kid, But again, solid pick because I can't complain about offensive linemen.
Jake Matthews is definitely an added addition. I think Matty Ice should probably buy him like a Rolex or some shit just for being on the team right now.
Pretty much like right out of first day of camp. Like, yo, there you go. Here's some ice from Matty Ice, right?
Right. I mean, you just got a pure just walk around bodyguard. If Jake Matthews is smart, he's definitely around Matty Ice a lot, so he can pick up his cadences, like the things he likes to do before he actually calls for the ball. And just, I mean, especially with the injuries that teams sustained last year. Roddy White played with an injury about 6 to 7 weeks until it progressively got worse, and he had to sit out a game, then come back a game, sit out a game, play a game. Tony Gonzalez still hasn't made up his mind whether he's coming back or not, but that remains to be seen. But you can guarantee that Matty Ice is going to have a lot more time in the pocket just thanks to Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews can pretty much, I mean, 2 defenders, he can pretty much hold it down. He's a massive man. He's definitely going to keep Matty Ice up vertical so that Julio can kind of sprint past a lot of these defenders, because Julio is definitely fast. We got to see how that foot heals though. But the Dimitrov people were talking that he's ready to go, but that remains to be seen to the public. So we'll see what happens this year with Atlanta. Atlanta may be able to make the playoffs. Hell, they may be able to get a playoff win this year. We'll keep you posted on that. We'll see how.
Yeah, because they're in a division that's freaking always up and down. Like I seen a stat on TV the other day where it was just like Like nobody consistently won that division from year to year to year to year. It was one year was Carolina. I think it was last year was Carolina. The year before that was the Saints. Then the year before that it was somebody else, and it keeps flip flopping. So you know what, Atlanta, you never know. You never know. You'll have your chance. You never know. But one thing I do know was this pick right here just made me so flipping angry, but not angry in a bad way, like angry and like, damn, I'm jealous of you mother effers. And that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers picking up my man Mike Evans. Cash money management. Baby. He probably got not agent tattooed somewhere on his head. But they picked up a baller, and they picked up a severe threat with that he's going to be playing opposite of Vincent Jackson. I mean, imagine if him and Vincent Jackson was on the same side of the field. Like that would be retarded for the Tampa Bay Bucks offensive coordinators to do, but it would be ridiculous. It's like pick your poison, and it's like if you don't die now, you're gonna die later. If you're not gonna die at the 20-yard line, I'm gonna kill you at the 50-yard line, or at the 20-yard line on the other side of the field while I'm running in for a touchdown. Who they got the quarterback now is Glennon, right?
No, they have Glennon's the rookie from last year, but they just acquired Josh McGowan from the Bears.
Right. So he might end up with a starting job, but hopefully that boy can stay upright to get those two kids the ball because, like I said, Mike Evans, man, them two together can tear up the league just how Atlanta should with Julio and Roddy White. Like I said, this is a scary pick, man. Scary pick. Very good move for the Bucks, though, but scary pick.
And I equally felt the same way watching him go off the board, saying, damn, I wish I could have Mike Evans on my team as well. But Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson is just scary. But then you add in the 6'5" tight end they picked in the second round from Washington, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. This guy is like super athletic too, so it's like they just kind of just high-powered instant offense. A lot of Tampa Bay's picks this year. I mean, Lovie Smith's the defense guy, but he took all offensive picks this year. I mean, they took a running back.
They need it. They had a solid defense already. They need it.
Yeah, they need help. I mean, they need help definitely offensively, and I'm pretty sure Mike Evans is a lot of help. So is Austin Seferian-Jenkins. They're definitely going to be a contender down in Tampa Bay, man.
Yeah, man. And then speaking of up-and-coming contenders, this is where, again, the draft got interesting. Cleveland Browns had the 8th pick. They traded with the Vikings. They got from the Vikings. And they went and shocked the world and didn't go quarterback as everybody expected. And they went defensive back with Justin Gilbert, Oklahoma State. I say great move for them because, one, they made the experts look like dicks for a second. Everybody was racking their brains.
Even us.
Racking their brains. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm a dick too now for that. But anyway, again, good move because they just added another nice weapon to already, progressively stronger defense. Like they're getting there. This team is getting there, and I'm actually going to be. I will, I won't. It won't hurt me to root for them because this is one of those teams who's been, they've been struggling for the longest, for a very, very long time, just like my Eagles have been struggling for a very long time, but just with worse success than most other teams. And this team, that fan base, they deserve it. And this kid in this defense is going to solidify some things. We all know that they had another pick in this round, which we're going to eventually get to. And I liked it because it shook shit up and had everybody scratching their heads. I don't know what you thought about this.
This move by the Browns was very, very calculated. I mean, they kind of weighed out the pros and cons of where Johnny might fall and when they would be able to get him. And they made the perfect decision. This is the perfect, accoutrement to Joe Hayden. This guy is going to be dangerous, Justin Gilbert, on his side of the field. First of all, he has great hands, and he's a beast. Like, literally, he will knock the shit out of somebody. So a lot of these wide receivers coming across on these fade routes, on these cross routes, are going to be really hurt and depressed when they run into Justin Gilbert.
Yes, 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 yes. And speaking of hurt and depressed, which is a team that's they're gonna be depressed for a little while because they're not really gonna be improved for some time. My personal opinion.
Struggle this
Sorry,
year.
sorry AP, but the Vikings got the ninth pick. They got it from the Bills, who got that pick from the Browns. But they went up and got outside linebacker Anthony Barr from UCLA. That was a head scratcher for some. The Vikings they needed they needed defense. They had a decent defensive line. Jared Allen's now gone to Chicago. Their linebackers were always kind of iffy, and you know what? I can't be mad. I guess you went for a need. You thought highly of this kid. Well, hey, give him a shot. I good. That's all I can really say about them. I'm not checking for that damn team.
Right. Minnesota kind of just ushered their way out of contention when Brett Favre left that team. They kind of had no excitement. I mean, Adrian Peterson's an exciting player, but there's only so much he can do. He's going to have a lot of great NFL film highlights, but no rings and no success to really show for until they can turn that whole team around.
Oh well.
But Anthony Barr, strong force out of UCLA. Not really a pass rusher, but he can definitely hold his own out there on the field. He's going to have some success. Just that he's going to have to realize that the struggle is real in Minnesota.
Real.
The
Wow.
Vikings, they're going to have to go through a real drastic change. I think that owner needs to really operate with some kind of urgency because they've drafted two quarterbacks in the last 2 years.
And
last 3 years, actually. Christian Ponder was just a mess.
And they're going to be playing in Arctic weathers right now because the dome is being redone, and that's supposed to happen for another 2 years. So
that doesn't bode well for a brand new quarterback who's used to playing in warm weather either. I'm just saying. I just put that out there because it's not really that cold in Louisville.
Just to paraphrase and quote the RZA song, "Here comes the snow again, falling on their head like a tragedy." But that's it, because I'm not gonna put my Barry White voice on y'all. My wife's not gonna like that because I might attract something the wrong way. But anyway, speaking of the wrong way, wrong town to be in. If you're one of those who's living in hard times, and that's the Detroit Lions, which the team I loved over. I definitely have always had love for the Detroit Lions. And this one, even their own fans gave them no love on because this was a very, very questionable pick on their part. But you know what? Matt Stafford, I guess they figured give him as many weapons as possible. And if your punk ass can't do something with these weapons, man, then they're going to have to reevaluate. And they went and got Eric Ebron, tight end, North Carolina, 6'4", 250, who they said is just straight basketball player body. Not a good blocker, they claim, but can get up just like the kid from the Saints. And if he can do that alongside Megatron and now Golden Tate and Reggie Bush, just dropping these names, like you would think that they would have they should be the most prolific offense in the NFL this season. And all honesty, besides my Eagles, which we're definitely going to get to because I liked what Chip. I actually liked what Chip did a lot in this draft. This team should be up there within the top 5 of scoring with a move like this. That's what I see, and that's what I better see, to be honest with you. Because Detroit, just the whole city, the whole everything, they need positive, and what more positive, is better than your sports team doing good besides your city that needs even more, but a sports team's uplift, and as long as these guys should be able to help and uplift this city out of shine some good light on them, because they need it.
This pick is it's alright to me. It doesn't make some sense because Eric Ebron is the third tight end on this team. I know they have Brandon Pettigrew and they have another tight end that I'm not even familiar with. So I'm guessing I'm thinking maybe the fan side that we're gonna see a whole shitload of 2 tight end sets. Think Gronk and the murderer in the Patriots. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they're going to be a lot of two tight end sets, which means that Megatron can spread the field vertically, and then you keep Ebron kind of in the middle, stretching the field horizontally, left to right. I think they're going to do a pretty good job. I mean, Eric Ebron, like they said, not the best blocker. When you look at his tape, the guy really don't. He can't block for shit. I mean, he does little just chop blocks, but that's really it. He blocks like a running back.
Yeah, but you know what? But like you just kind of said though, somebody's gonna have to get double teamed somewhere, so somebody's gonna be open. If it's him, more power to him. You know, but you said you got Reggie Bush back there. You got freaking Gold. You're gonna have Golden Tate on the other side.
And Reggie Bush could catch.
Yeah, exactly. Even he could take a hit too. Shout out to Sheldon Brown, back back when he was on the Saints. I wish we was recording video because that's one of my favorite highlights. Even though we lost that game, that thing made me do. I think I literally jumped like 3 feet high off the couch and almost did a backflip on how hard that hit was, and I was dying laughing. But the man's alive, so I can laugh even harder, And speaking of teams that are like somewhat alive, I guess the Tennessee Titans. The Chris Johnson-less Tennessee Titans now.
Ooh, it hurt.
But yeah, it is what it is. The kid, he needed to move on. He wasn't going to get the dollar that he expected. But they went offensive tackle, Taylor Lewan. We thought he was going to go higher in the draft. But you know what? Not a bad pick. Again, offensive lineman. First round picks all the time, my book. 6'7", 309. Who the fuck wouldn't want a monster that big? Guess what? Jake Locker, now you got some protection to keep your ass off the ground and hopefully keep you healthy. Hey, I mean, good pick, Tennessee. Good pick. Very good pick.
Jake Locker's going to have a lot more time to look down the field to his kind of nondescript receivers. Tennessee, this is Tennessee's, safe pick. It makes sense to get Taylor Lewan. He's like the man said, he's a monster of a man. So it's easy to get behind a guy like that and just know that left side is going to be nice and soft and cushy for you because you're never going to get touched over there because he is just a monster. He can pretty much, his pass block is just as good as his run block. So that new tight end rookie they just got, Bishop Sankey, is going to be just all good. He's going to be just having just huge, giant Taylor Lewan-sized holes to run through. So he could probably produce just as much as T.J. Y2K did. T.J. Y2K left averaging only 3.5 yards a game, which is low comparatively to his 5.2 that he did when he had his 2,000-yard season. But he's gone. He's old news. This is what's happening right now. Taylor Lewan from Michigan, safe pick. You were going to have a nice, long, healthy career over there. Just keep Jay Locker standing up a little bit more, and you've done your job already, my friend. Again, yes. You're not making the playoffs, though, so relax.
And speaking of not making the playoffs, we got the New York Vaginas at the 12th pick.
Go blue. Sight.
Yeah, fuck you. We got they picked up Odell Beckham, LSU, from my Tigers. You know what? I love my Tigers. They don't always put out the best pros, but you know what? They needed a wide receiver. Because of Hakeem Nicks no longer with them. But they didn't go Hakeem Nicks' size. This kid's 5'11", 190, 198. Okay, so he's ripe for getting broken in half, in my opinion. And because he's a New York Vagina now, he's no longer LSU Tiger. Unfortunately, boy, you're going to get broken in half. And, we'll see you asses during the season. I'm not talking about you no more.
Now, as far as Odell Beckham, this is my head-scratching pick because I feel like the Giants, swap brains with the Jets as far as who needed a wide receiver right now and then. Because I thought they were going to take, defense or maybe even offensive tackle to help Eli out because last year, Eli threw the most interceptions in the league. That's right, bitch. I said it. Eli threw the most interceptions in the league. So hop off Tony Romo for a second. Let's focus on Eli.
Still Tony Romo, though.
Listen, Tony Romo had a better season than Eli.
Yo, side note, though. Real quick side note about Homo. And like I said, I only call him Tony Homo because he's a cowgirl. But, you see they tried to blame him for the Clippers loss last night because he was at the game.
They say it's a Romo curse because he went to the game for the Clippers loss.
I love it anyway, but
the Clippers can go shit in their hats with Donald Sterling and their bum ass.
Yeah.
But going back to Odell Beckham, you say he's a small guy, but the guy's kind of a beast. He's gonna be in that slot. He's gonna take a lot of hits. because Ruben Randall with his stone hands are going to be on the outside with Victor Salsa Dancing Cruz, who's I don't think he's going to have that good of a year. I think Victor Cruz is kind of just I think he's overrated. People just like to see the salsa. They like the Latin American flavor in the NFL, especially in New York, because we got places like Spanish Harlem that got Victor Cruz jerseys hanging all over the place, like towels out the window. The Giants, I mean, you guys probably will make the playoffs this year. I'm just saying if Eli stays healthy.
No. Remember
maybe.
who's in the division. No, don't give him no props. Fuck them.
Plus, the pickup of Rashad Jennings. I mean, realistically, you may get back to the playoffs. Unrealistically, hopefully, I hope you stay where you hope you finish where you finished last year. And we'll move on to the next pick.
Yes, which is the St. Louis Rams again at the number 13 pick. These guys went smart this whole draft. They picked up a defensive tackle, Aaron Donald from Pittsburgh. They say this kid's a fucking beast, and he's definitely gonna get a spot alongside damn, what the hell is that kid think? Chris Long. Yeah, that's what his name is.
Chris or Kyle Long, one or the other.
No, it's Chris Long.
Chris Long?
Yeah, and a couple other beasts on that defense. Like this defensive line that the Rams have is stacked already, and they just added more firepower here. We do know that they added a little more firepower in Michael Sam. We could say glitter power. But it's all jokes. There's no hate over here with that. I love you. I love all y'all. It's just all jokes. Let's get that shit straightened out.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. I mean, hey, they overloaded in defense this year, and this kid's gonna see some time. Their later picks, I don't know. This kid's gonna see some time. So, I mean, the Rams. Jeff Fisher's over there. They're not playing no games this year, man. Like the way they're sounding right now, they should do something. Even though they're in one of the toughest divisions in football, they should do some numbers. I say very good pick for the second pick in the first round.
The Rams, they made the most of their picks. I mean, we both had them going with a wide receiver because we just thought they needed some more offense. But, I mean, it never helps to keep that defensive depth. And Aaron Donald is definitely going to start. I mean, there's nobody on that depth chart who's going to be ahead of him at his position. He should do work, man. He's a big guy. He comes from a tough school. Pitt is definitely was a little bit of a powerhouse because of him. He had a couple sacks last year. That's not like he's a slouch at his position. He does make plays and he can. In the NFL, I'm pretty sure he will. The Rams' defensive line is already kind of stacked, so the Rams' defense, you guys on the fantasy chart, you just went up a little bit. Last year, I think you were like 11. You might break the top 10 this year.
Yeah. Okay, and then now we're going to move on to the 14th pick in the Chicago Bears. They went defensive back Kyle Fuller, Virginia Tech, 6 foot, 190. I got nothing to say for the Bears other than their asses needed defense. It's a team that's known for defense, and they've been lacking and sucking ass. And guess what? Defense is back. They needed him. It was a pick that they needed. Can't be mad with making smart team moves for need and not for any flash or no bullshit.
This was definitely a need-based pick, and Kyle Fuller satisfies the need because those cornerbacks are getting old. If I'm not mistaken, no, I'm sorry, that's the Saints I'm thinking about. The Bears definitely needed some help, and they picked up Jared Allen, they picked up Kyle Fuller. So you guys may be getting back to work this year if you could just keep Jay Cutler playing right, keep him healthy, and Matt Forte gets busy. I'm a Matt Forte fan. People just kind of shit on Matt Forte. Matt Forte is definitely one of the better running backs in his league. He just needed some help last year. So, and he got it. The Bears had a decent season. They should continue the success, especially with Kyle Fuller. Kyle Fuller's a cornerback. He's not a shutdown dude. I mean, I want you to get on the Revis Hayden kind of Sherman tactic, but he's a cornerback who knows his position. He does his work. He's not really a press dude. He's not that big, but in man coverage, he could take some people out of the game for a couple plays at least. Not definitely not the whole game, but he can shut some people down. But bigger wide receivers, he's definitely gonna have a problem with. So when those big wide receivers come to Chicago travels to them. A lot of quarterbacks are gonna pick on Kyle Fuller, I think.
Yep. But hey, that's what happens to all rookies. All rookies get picked on eventually. Even in their own teams, rookies get picked on. Okay. And then now we're gonna move on to the 15th pick, Pittsburgh Steelers. Ryan Shazier, off outside linebacker, Ohio State. Fucking hate your Buckeyes, fuck eyes. Shout out to my man Diz, who absolutely hates them also. Fucking fuck eyes. I don't give a fuck about fuck eyes. You talk about him. I hate the Ohio State Buckeyes. Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying it.
Ryan Shazier, linebacker out of Ohio State. Ryan Shazier, you just went to a team that's gonna love you to death because they are all about defense over there.
Well, yeah, and I'll give him a little bit of like, I'm sorry, they did need his ass because Pittsburgh has been lacking also. Plus they got rid of a couple of their older linebackers.
Right.
And the fan base ain't that far away, to be honest with you. Pittsburgh is right damn near Ohio, as close as they are.
Yeah, shout out to my brother Derek, because he's been a Steelers fan for as long as I can remember. So, Derek, I know we talked on Facebook. I know you were jumping up and down in your yellow and black panties, just going crazy for Ryan Shazier. And it was those corny Steelers. But the Steelers, I mean, they're getting old. You know, the rapist at quarterback is getting a little old. Long hair, the Hawaiian sailor's looking a little old, but Ryan Clark's a little old. But you guys could definitely make some moves. I mean, in your division. I mean, as long as Mike Tomlin can keep his little dumbass off the sidelines, you be all right.
Yeah. Like, acting like you're looking at Jumbotron. That's just as bad as Jason Kidd pouring water on the court. but anyway, we're gonna move on and we're gonna move to your Cowgirls. This was a pick that everybody was all up in arms. Like, how come you didn't go quarterback? But you don't need a quarterback. But how come you didn't go Johnny Manziel? He's from Texas. We want him drafted higher because we need something to talk about. And we like to talk about Dallas because just they love putting on the show. But guess what? Jerry Jones finally smartened the fuck up and drafted for need and didn't need a quarterback. And they went with the offensive tackle Zach Martin from Notre Dame, another college that I freaking can't stand. But this was a smart pick. They went for more Romo protection. They just paid Romo what? The contract deal is for a reported 109 million. I think it was like about 40 million guaranteed, about 34 million guaranteed. But guess they. Like I said, offensive lineman, smart pick, need picks, and need pick for them. I actually saluted the Cowgirls that night and called them Cowboys for one draft pick, and then moved back on because Jerry Jones finally did a smart move. Salute you.
I gotta say, for the glorious Cowboys, I was patiently looking at the screen and it kept showing Jerry in the world. He's high-fiving and smiling and shit. I was like, if he takes Johnny Manziel right now, he pretty much took any faith or confidence that Tony Romo had and just pretty much shoved it out the window. Johnny Manziel, I mean, they kept showing him over and over again, just sitting in the green room, just sitting there with this pissed off look on his face. Zach Martin is what all you could hope for. He plays every offensive line position. He can play them all just as good as the next. So this was the safest pick that makes them make the most sense. It keeps Tony Romo's a scrambler by nature. If you watch a lot of his college games, all he did was scramble and just run around, which is why he tweaked his back and had to have that surgery and shit this year. So Zach Martin kind of helps that front line keep Tony Romo from scrambling so much because Tony Romo can climb the pocket and he has a cannon on his arm. So he just got to get Des the ball.
We don't know about no cannon. He's got a very good arm. He ain't no fucking cannon. That's delusional fan talking now. Let's bring this back down to earth, okay?
I'm always on earth, especially with the glorious champion. We're gonna restore championship ways one day. We just gotta hire the right coach.
Ooh, and my man just picked up a pill off the table. That's how high he is when he said that. And we're gonna move on.
Love the Cowboys. Love it.
Anyway, we're gonna things that fly high. We're talking about Ravens next. 17th pick. C.J. Mosley, inside linebacker, Alabama. You never go wrong with an Alabama linebacker, in my opinion. It was a need for them. Good pick. Is what you say?
C.J. Mosley's a smart pick, man. They definitely need some help on that linebacking core. He's gonna come. He's gonna be an impact player, instant starter over there.
Yep. And now we gotta go number 18 in the Jets. A move that was a head scratcher for most, but then it turned into a quote unquote typical Typical Rex Ryan move and draft the defense. Calvin Pryor, Louisville. But guess what? They needed a safety. They needed a free safety. So, smart pick. I'm not mad at you, Rex. I know, do your thing. As everybody knows, defense wins. Defense wins championships. Defense does big things. You always keep your defense solid, Rex. You got Vic over there now, and you just need the receivers. But you guys are going to be able to do your thing. I'm just going to hold your own with that pick. I like it.
I like the pick, but I don't like the pick. It was expected for them to go defense. I was hoping they would get a little smarter and maybe get a outside the lines kind of running back. Wide receiver. I thought they were going to go like Marquise Lee's, somewhere in that range. But they went with the safe pick. It's not like Calvin Pryor is going to do poorly on the team. The team, Rex Ryan's a defensive guy. He drafts defense. He drafts defense as well, and they're going to need his services this year. So they should be all right. We'll see. We'll see how they do. They got a lot of new pieces in place. They got to just get things together. So camp's going to be really important for
them. Okay. And keeping it in the AFC East with the Dolphins at 19, Juwan James, offensive tackle. Yes, sir. Offensive lineman. We know the Dolphins needed them because they got rid of 2 this year with some little crybaby-ass Martin. Oh, he picked on me. Big Negro fucking man the fuck up. Anyway, but you know what? I salute you because you got the job. You got a job back first with your old college coach over in San Francisco. So you know what? The joke's gonna be on me. The joke's gonna be on the rest of America when you're probably contending for a Super Bowl. So you know what? I did call you a crybaby in the beginning, but you know what? You fell into a great situation, brother. So I salute you. Can't be too mad at you. Miami Dolphins definitely need offensive line. Great pick.
Juwan James is a pretty solid pick for them. They just needed offensive line help. He was one of the last 2 offensive linemen who were actually really good left in the draft. So, smart pick. He wasn't going to be on the board much longer anyway. We can just move on to New Orleans.
Nolans, who took this pick from the Cardinals, which is in the trade, and they went up and stole a wide receiver that my Eagles was eyeing, Brandon Cooks, Oregon State. Little speedy, shifty guy. They needed somebody like him. It was obvious that Drew Brees liked small guys like this because I was saying Darren Sproles, who came over to my team, especially with the way the Saints took care of him, having his wife rape him on Twitter and everything. That was so hilarious. But no, great pick for them because it was almost like a 1-for-1 deal. You got rid of one, you got one, so it kind of balances you out. So we expect same typical things, typical Saints offense. Pass Jimmy Graham the ball, catch the little guy open for a little dip here and there. Occasionally catch a deep pass receiver. Yeah, predictable. But Drew Brees can sling it though. Lucky for this kid, he's got a great quarterback on him.
Yeah, I felt they were going to go wide receiver because Marcus Pulse is getting out there. But they drafted wide receiver last year too. Kenny Stills. Kenny Stills is still there. He's quick, another fast dude, just like Brandon Cooks. So them playing parallel each other. I think Brandon Cooks is probably going to play more outside the lines. They're going to move Kenny Stills probably to the slot. I think that just opens up more opportunity for them, Marcus Pulse, and keep Jimmy Graham just jumping up, leaping over dudes.
Yes, and just a quick factoid. I think Colston might still be the last player from Hofstra still in the NFL. If you know, Hofstra got rid of their football program a few years back. Like they just axed it. I don't know why. I used to play football with a guy whose son was going there, and then he had to move on to Temple because they were closing their program. But hey, salute you for being one of the last of a football program still doing it, still getting paid in the league. Okay,
carry that torch.
Yeah, and from last to one of the first teams to ever win the first Super Bowl, the Green Bay Packers. They win defense. Clinton Dix. Need. That's all I can really say. Need. That's all they went for. They need it. Their defense always been suspect chin music, and they needed it. Good for them.
that secondary was getting weak and getting old. So haha satisfies a need, and that's pretty much one of those good picks in the draft that they're gonna look back and be like, you know what, we're glad we took this dude, even though his name is haha.
Yep. And
he wore that crazy red suit. He looked fucking ridiculous. He looked like from Oklahoma.
and then we're continuing on the ha theme. This ha right here had me freaking like, what the fuck? I was just laughing like I couldn't believe what the hell happened. But then I started laughing because Johnny was like, finally. And the Cleveland Browns, they was getting a little antsy and went up and traded with my Eagles, which was still puzzling, but hey, it is what it is. And they finally took Johnny Football off the board. Quarterback, Texas A&M. You know, we already know the kid's 6 foot. He's my height. He's fast. You know, he can sling it. He can. But it's just the media hype around him. You know, I mean yesterday I was talking with my man, my partner on the truck, Alex, and he was just like, yeah, but you know, I can't take this guy. Like he made up. No, you know what he did? He didn't make up his name. He was named that in Texas in high school. Like he was named Johnny Football in high school because of the shit that he was doing back then. He just carried it over into college, was doing the same thing, putting up great numbers. I mean, the kid is good enough to where Texas A&M is building a new stadium right now, and the petition is already in for this stadium to be named the house that Johnny built. How fucking crazy is that? You're just out of the school. The building's supposed to be done, I believe, by next year. So you're going to be 1 year removed from college, and you're going to have a freaking entire stadium named after you. And then, not to mention now, it's even more mind-boggling controversy. Now today that they were bringing up that he allegedly text messaged one of the Browns front office men saying, "Yo, come get me," and they listened. Like that's some. You got some fucking balls. If that's true, like you got some balls, kid, and ballsy enough to pull that off. Like you must have had your daddy cut a side deal or something. Like, listen, we'll give you this oil derrick down here and like freaking we'll give you one of these joints in Austin if you go take my son. And they bit. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just joking. But salute you, Johnny. You got a perfect situation to walk into, and you should be able to start. You should be able to start up there. Don't come too much out of pocket, and stay in character, stay hungry football mode, and Cleveland Browns. I told you, Cleveland Browns going to be a team to look out for. Very scary.
Johnny Manziel, this was a solid pick for Cleveland. If that whole testing thing is true, it's pretty funny. It only adds to the mysticism and the hype around Johnny. I'm happy for Cleveland as a city, man. Losing LeBron James is like when Detroit lost the auto industry. Like they just didn't have shit to fall back on. Johnny brings excitement. Johnny brings ticket sales. He gets asses in the seat. He makes the dog pound do the little whoop whoop whoop, wear a little dog mask and all that shit, and drink out of the bowl of water, whatever the hell it is they do in Cleveland. And as far as competing for a job, I mean, I wrote an article about it inside the mind at LG on talkingmyteam.com. Johnny's competing with the guy who started 3 games last year. I mean, they don't really have a big whole allegiance to Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer started 3 ass games. He did his thing. He got busy in those 3 games. Tore the ACL. We never see what really manipulated from, or really materialized from Brian Hoyer.
Right, but he's going to get a shot just because he had, minor experience in the league. But hey, it's more than nothing. It's more than nothing. It's more than what Manziel has right now. But you know what? Manziel might be that kid that I'm still skeptical. But you know what? He might have a decent career in the league. Okay. And then moving on to 23 and decent teams from last year. The team who was the last team to lose a game in the Kansas City Chiefs. They went defensive end in D Ford, Auburn, 6'2", 252. I don't know if I can call that a need for them, but hey, it's the Chiefs. They got my man Andy Reid over there, and I really don't give a damn too much more about them, so I can move on.
Yeah, Arrowhead just got a little bit more stacked with depth as far as defensive ends. The Chiefs' defense are going to be kind of just held up by D Ford. D Ford might not start this year. Don't be surprised if you don't see him on the field in 2014. but he's definitely a good enough player where eventually when he takes the field, he's going to be a problem. We could definitely move on past Kansas City. I really don't give a shit about Kansas City.
Another team I really don't care about either. Cincinnati Bengals, Darquez Denard, Michigan State. Some people were saying he should have probably been one of the number one cornerbacks taken in this draft. Bengals defense was always suspect also, but hey, good solid pick. Everybody needs a good cornerback, Even the Jets needed a good cornerback, not just a safety. The 3 million is a bum. But yeah, Cincinnati Bengals, very good pick, solid pick, can't be mad.
Darquez Denard is definitely a solid pick for Cincinnati. Their secondary, the average age is like 37 years old. They're old as fuck over in Cincinnati.
Justice.
I think Leon Hall's like 36 or 35. He's up there. Darquez Denard is going to bring some life back to that position. Again, don't expect cover corner kind of skills. He's more of a coverage dude. He knows his routes. He can kind of read quarterbacks a little better than most. But he's not going to be super special. But he's going to help that secondary out for sure.
Okay, and then now at the 25th pick, San Diego Chargers, Jason Verrett, TCU. TCU is a school known for speed and I guess decent pick. Who gives a shit about the Chargers? I might know 2 Chargers fans in my life, so I'm not going to spend no time. If you're a Chargers fan listening, sorry, we don't care. I mean, we care for your listens, but shout outs to us. I'm shouting us out because that's what we're going to fill your time with. TalkingMyTeam.com, don't worry, that's where you're going to find us at. And TalkingMyTeam.com, yeah, remember that. That's how we use up your time, Chargers.
Pretty much, Chargers, safe pick, Jason Verrett, definitely going to help your team. You should appreciate him.
And speaking of teams that I appreciate, my Philadelphia Eagles, who we moved down to the 26th pick. Very, very questionable. I was a head scratcher. We took Marcus Smith, Louisville. I'm gonna get into it real quick later, but this pick grew on me as the draft went on. As I seen the moves that we made, this pick grew on me. Versatile outside linebacker, defensive end, stand up or down in the 3-point stance. This is gonna work. Because Chip likes. Well, he's not a small guy, 6'3", 251, but Chip likes versatility and Chip likes speed. This kid's going to do something for us. I feel it. It's going to happen. We're going to do some wonderful things.
I got to say, the Seagulls went well picking up Marcus Smith. Marcus Smith was definitely a utility guy. He's definitely going to serve a lot of needs, especially since Chip likes these kind of guys. I mean, he's a big dude. He definitely has good body control, good pass rush ability. He's not as long enough, but he'll do well.
Okay, and we're not gonna spend too much time on my team just yet. We're gonna try to wrap this the rest of this draft up. We got the Cardinals at number 27. They put I guess it's Dion or Denone Buchanan, Washington State, strong safety. Okay, we got pick number 28, Carolina Panthers. Very good pick for Cam Newton. Kelvin Benjamin, 6'5" receiver from Florida State. You got rid of your best receiver in the team's franchise history. I say need. What you say?
Safest pick, probably the best pick in the draft, I think. Kelvin Benjamin's going to be a problem in Carolina.
Mm-hmm. And then we're going to go up north into fucking Boston and bum-ass bitches up there. But New England Patriots, they picked up this kid from Staten Island, yo. Shout-outs to fucking SINY. That's where we from right now. And actually, we're recording right down the block from where this kid came from, Curtis High School. Dominic Easley, 6'2", 288, Florida, defensive tackle. All I can say is hopefully this kid can stay healthy because he seemed to not have been able to stay healthy in college. But, every college, he had colleges chasing for him, and everybody thought highly of this kid. And you know what? Just because he's from out here, I hope wonderful things for him in the league. He'll actually be up there with Curtis High School alum freaking Steve Gregory too. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. That's something to root for, Staten Island. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I mean, I don't want to root for the Patriots, but everybody talking that supports Shaolin shit. Y'all need to support, especially when my projects come up. Y'all need to support. But yeah, I like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah, this is a good move for the Patriots, man, because they got a great kid. He just definitely has to stay healthy. I think that was the only really real big knock on him. He's up there with Stephen Gregory. Clearly, Boston loves Staten Island, so shout out to Boston for loving Staten Island so much.
Yeah, they had freaking what's his name? God damn, Joe Andruzzi also from Staten Island. He retired. I think the guy lives up there and does things like different things for the Boston community. So I don't know why I don't know what I don't. I'm not up there. Shout out to my man Shata though. He up there. I know he's up in Massachusetts somewhere. That's my man Shata. Shout out to real quick. Shout out to RBE, ARP, my man Science, DJ XL. I'm sorry. I'm a part of that team, man. And July 5th, Lift His Soul. If y'all battle rap fans, if y'all love competition like y'all love football, come out to Club Drum July 5th. Get them tickets online through Eventbrite, man. It's going to be a fucking problem. Math Hoffa's returned back to New York, and that's all I can say about that. I'm sorry, I just shout y'all out real quick, because we was talking Boston, and that's where one of our partners is from. Well, he's not from up there, but he lives up there right now, and yeah, we gotta move on because I'm sorry with the shout outs, but I give crew love to everybody. I give love to everybody, and I guess I have to give love to this team now, even though I used to hate them back in the day. San Francisco 49ers. I don't know if they needed strong safety because that team is already, they don't really need anything. Jimmy Ward, Northern Illinois. Hey, the kid's got a shot, He's luckily, fortunately for him, he's he's going to be on the team that's going to contend. We're going to go to the 31st in the Denver Broncos, because this draft is pretty washed after this. Bradley Roby, that's the punter's son or something like that, right? Reggie Roby's son.
I think so.
Wow, that's history right there. One of the first black kickers in the league. Well, not one of the first, but he was a good one. He was a punter, I believe. I remember. Cornerback from Gailyard State. Oh, fuck you, Gailyard State. And then we're gonna move on to the last pick of the first round, where the Minnesota Vikings actually traded upward and went Teddy Bridgewater, which shocked the shit out of me. I thought Teddy Bridgewater was going to be one of those that's going to be late day two pick. But, they said that they had all these different analytic quarterback tests out there, and I forgot what team paid. I think they said the Cleveland Browns paid some place $100,000 to do some analytics tests on the quarterbacks in this draft, and that rated him number one, Teddy Bridgewater, Mr. Small Hands, the number one. And they didn't take him, but he fell all the way to 32 for the Vikings. Now, fortunately for him, he's got all-day Adrian Peterson as a running back for him. Maybe that can help. They still need other pieces, but hey, maybe that can help. What you see about Bridgewater? He was one of those names that everybody was talking.
I like Teddy. The only question about Teddy is that he's a real mild-mannered guy, and him being mild-mannered works in college, but can he lead, animals and men on the field? Like, I don't know. I don't know if he walks in as day one. I mean, but Christian Ponder, who else do they have? But closing the draft, the first round of the draft out with Teddy Bridgewater is a smart move. It was definitely a high need. Teddy Bridgewater, his pro days would drop him over there on 32. If his pro day was better, he'd have been much better, but he had a private workout in Minnesota. Minnesota loved that kid. And they told him they were going to trade up to get him. And he waited, and he was patient, and patience was rewarded, man. He's going to be one to watch out for in the future. But Minnesota, please get that boy some weapons quickly, other than Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson doesn't catch many passes all year. They need a wide receiver out there, immediately, post-haste.
Right. And that concludes this part for the show of the first round of the draft. We did say that we was going to talk about our team's draft picks. We're not going to get into detail about the team's picks because we're running on time issues right now. So we're going to get into I'm going to declare that what I see from my team's picks, um, all the way through this whole draft, I give us at least a B to a B minus. No, I actually give us a solid B because Chip went for speed. He went for small, light guys. You know, we got a couple defensive linemen, which we need. We need girth and we need size on that line. You know, but he went for a lot of shifty, versatile guys. And what Chip is going to be, if you know what he was from Oregon, he's about he's about people who can move. You know, he came into my Eagles organization and immediately changed the food. I mean, he went as far as studying intake, you know, caloric intake, all types of body intake, and change the diet of the players or what the players eat at the facility, what the staff eats at the facility, to make everybody stronger, lighter, healthier. You know, have their minds sharper. And with the draft picks that we picked up, that you should be able to pick up on the Eagles website. Um, we just look out for us, man. Just check. You're gonna surprise some people. We're gonna surprise some people this year. And the Cowgirls.
As far as the Cowboys, I'll probably have to give us a draft grade of about a C, man. Jason Garrett, you ain't shit. You don't even have. You can't even call offense anymore. That's how much Jerry Jones has faith in you. Jerry, you should just get a mic and just be out there and just calling plays, offense and defense.
Like Phil Jackson, right?
Jerry Jones is the Phil Jackson of Dallas.
Yeah, right.
Without as many titles. As far as the picks we made a lot of safe picks. I mean, Zach Barnes a safe pick, DeMarcus Lawrence satisfies the need, safe pick, Anthony Hitchens safe pick, and then we get to Devin Street. There's not even. I think I saw 2 games about this kid. He's fast, he's speedy, but Dez on one side and him on the other side. I don't even see him maybe touching the field. He might be a slot guy, maybe third, fourth wide receiver. The rest of the picks, all 7th rounders, all kind of ho-hum guys. I mean, Will Smith is kind of a beast from Texas Tech. He kind of did his thing.
No.
And Kim Bishop, defensive tackle from Northern Illinois, was all right. But everything else is just ho-hum. Again, the Cowboys are doing a very good job of disappointing the shit out of all their fans league-wide.
I thank you for it. Okay, and now we're gonna move on to some of the new league news. Like we're gonna come into, we're gonna bounce around through some random shit. Like today, I was hearing that they're talking some rumblings that Andre Johnson might no longer be a Texan. I hope that's not true. You know, because they need him, and my opinion always is that try to stay with a team forever. Like that don't happen anymore in the league, man. And that's you're getting rid of one of the best receivers in the league. Like, what would they let him go for? I don't understand that. I wouldn't even understand that. Man.
Well, Andre Johnson, love Andre Johnson, a member of the U. Shout out to the U in Miami as a whole.
That's right.
Andre Johnson was just a man child. I mean, he's going into his 12th year of the league. He's in his 30s. His production is not going to go that far down, but as far as getting something value-wise, I see him like maybe offer like a third, maybe second-round pick. He's definitely not a first-round pick guy anymore. He has played for a lot of offensive coordinators. He's also had a ton of quarterbacks just in the last 3 years. I mean, Andre Johnson, and as far as the man picked up on the loyalty, there's different kind of loyalty. Loyalty from the organization to the player to the organization. Andre Johnson is one of those. He's not questioning his loyalty. He's questioning just his ability to win. And if you question your ability to win, that means it's time for you to move on. And the Texans, I mean, they are getting better defensively. They were last place in the league. They were laughable this year. And Andre Johnson kind of just sees the writing on the wall that maybe there's an opportunity for him to go to another team and maybe just get to that title contention, just to kind of mention with the rest of the greats at his position. And Houston's in a position where they're in a unique position again, where they can, if they move him though, I mean, where does he go? I mean, I can't even see a team who would. I mean, there's a couple of teams I definitely could see who would gamble on him and want to take Andre Johnson right now, but they don't have the shit to give right now.
Right. And then, I mean, we're going to move on to another, like, shit, like, just using the word shit, and, like, shit that boggles my mind. again, going back to the Johnny football issue in Cleveland, like, yeah, again, yo, how the fuck you got the balls to allegedly text an official on the team and be like, yo, how about y'all come get me now? Like, I really want to be on your team. Like, yo, come fucking draft me now, man. Like, what was wrong with him? Like, was his ass hurting in the chair in the green room? You know, waiting. You know, he didn't want to look like freaking what's that kid from Notre Dame? He didn't want to look like him. He didn't want to feel like Aaron Rodgers and them. You know, waiting forever and forever. Like, what? I guess he must have had some kind of like bonus or something coming from Nike. Like, if you fell to the second day, like take a few M's off your endorsement deal or something. Like, I don't know, man. Like, that's a real ballsy ass move to if that report is true. Like, you text messaging, like, yo, like, what kind of, I mean, and again, like I said, for the organization to bite on that, that's power. This kid's already got you by the balls. He will be starting week one. If you can make moves like that, his ass will be starting.
But one of the other reports that came out of Cleveland earlier today and a couple of days ago was that the owner was high on Johnny Manziel in February, and the new quarterback coach is new this year. He just got hired. So him coming into this position with having the owner's concerns and having the scouts' concerns and thinking just what the city needs. I mean, he made a smart pick for the city, for the organization. The fact that Manziel texted him, "Yo, come get me. Let's wreck this league together," kind of shows that Johnny football swagger he's had since high school. I mean, since he was a 5'7" quarterback coming out of high school. Like, you don't see that everywhere. I mean, the kid has a big heart, but that big heart, I mean, he's got to have a tough body. He's got to get in that gym because he can't take a lot of these shots that's going to be dealt out this year. As far as him competing for a job, like I said, him and Brian Hoyer, like, they're pretty much at the same level to me. Brian Hoyer only played 3 more NFL games than Johnny Manziel. That's not enough to solidify your starting spot. Their competition is going to be steep. And the loss of Josh Gordon with this whole drug thing, NFL players, just a note of caution. You get drafted into a league where you can buy your mother a house and have your mother never work again. You should question yourself. You should grow some balls and do the right thing.
Or you make the money enough to also to try to hire like the best freaking some decent scientists out there that can at least help you beat this fucking test. Like, yo, like, I mean, everybody loves weed. Like, I can't do it because of my job, but everybody loves the freaking marijuana. But you're in a different scenario. Like, you know your ass can't do it, and unfortunately, weed it could cost you millions. It cost me not that much. It might cost me 30 days on the bench in my job, you know, but not even because I don't have no offenses on me. But anyway, like, you're a dumb fuck for that one, yo. Like, that's, it ain't personal because I really don't know you, but yo, that's a dumb fuck move. Like, I mean, give me that fucking money, man. If you don't want to do it, give me that money. My piss is clean. You could have threw me a couple dollars. My piss is clean. They would have just said, "Damn, you weigh that." Like, they would have tell how much fucking, how fat you were. Like, something. I mean, I don't know, but you're a fucking dummy, man. You're pothead. Like, they need to put your ass on some kind of like celebrity rehab, reality show bullshit. And maybe you could get yourself checked out on that one. And
the bad part of that, with the season he had last year, the drafting of Johnny Manziel, and just the new addition of Ben Tate and kind of these pieces, and Jordan Cameron the way he played last year, like, you guys were set to almost make a playoff run. Like,
right.
Josh Gordon now, you kind of fucked everything up. You kind of threw everything to a sideline. So now Cleveland picks up Earl Bennett and Miles outs my hamstring Austin. Like, so those are your players. They let go of Greg Little, who's completely irrelevant. Greg Little can pretty much fall off the planet at this point. He might fall out of the league with San Antonio.
Pretty much, you guys just became a sideshow. I mean, you're trying to help your team become a sideshow. Nobody wants to do Hard Knocks, but I guess they should now go pick up Hard Knocks, an episode. The series of Hard Knocks. Cleveland Browns. You got your own reality show in Johnny Manziel. You got your own reality show in this fucking pothead. And it's sad and sad. And speaking of sad and great and sad, I'll explain why I say sad in a second. But uh, the reality show that's about to come of one Mr. Michael Sam. Sad. I only express sadness in mentioning his name because you did come out and tell the world that you were about football. Your thing was about football. Your whole movement was about football. You're not technically here to what people feel is a gay agenda, which there's no fucking gay agenda. I mean, people are born that way. Some people might learn it differently, maybe, and grow into it. But for my feeling, the majority of people who are homosexuals, and I salute you as a community, those who are, because you know what, you're braver than most. And Michael's saying you're braver than most. I mean, these are going to be strong words that are going to come out within these next few minutes, but again, like I said, you're braver than most because at least you were man enough to understand and step up and say, you know what? I mean, there's no need for an announcement to the world, but understanding the position that you're in, as far as a man that is about to enter one of the world's greatest professions, and that's the professional football player. You outed your own story, which again I freaking love. You were able to out your own story, not a reporter, not any agent or any scout who was looking into you all these NFL teams. Everybody knew. It showed the love. Your school showed the love that they had for you, and never releasing your story because we know now your team knew, your school knew, and guess what? They thought nothing of it. Why? Because it's not their. It's not their. It's not their life. You're not living their life. They're not living your life, man. Whatever you do in your bedroom is your thing. And we're not going to talk. This show is not about religion because you don't want me to go there. But it's people make stupidness of this into religious issues, and not everybody believes in the same thing. Not everybody feels the same way. He chooses to love who he loves, and that's it. He chooses to make love to who he loves in the bedroom, and that's it. And that's something that's private. That has nothing to do with the outside world. You know, not me personally, but we as a people make stupid shit like this bigger issues because some people are scared and just scared of something that they're not comfortable to. They're scared to have to teach their child a lesson, and what kind of parent are you that you're afraid to teach your child a lesson? If you don't approve of it, you just explain to them that you just don't approve of that. Us in our household, we don't live that way. All good, all fine and dandy. Keep it that way. But again, bringing it back to you and a football player, co-SEC Defensive Player of the Year last year. That means you're a damn good baller. You know, my opinion, you tanked down to the 7th round because they were afraid that you might bring some unneeded scrutiny because of your homosexuality. Which again, homosexuality has nothing to do with the football field. That's a lifestyle choice. That's a bedroom choice because it's a lifestyle. That's your lifestyle. That's not something that's practiced on the NFL field. But you take that fall because of the announcement. Whether they want to admit that or not, they won't admit that because of legal scaredness, being scared of legal reasons. That's not going to come out that way. Real recognize real.
Right.
Real recognize real. That's why you fell. You should have been at least a 3rd, 4th rounder, at latest 5th rounder. But you know what? Now again, you said this was about football. Now turn this shit into football. My advice: cut that deal with the OWN network and really show us that it's about fucking football, kid. let us know that this move is football. Your thing is football. It's not about, I mean, you know what? And let me backtrack a little bit because, again, it's like I respect that move, but it's not a football. You told us you was here for football, not to be some fucking great crusader. All respect, all well and done that, you know, you kind of put this on your head now, unfortunately, because it's just your lifestyle. But it's just, I mean, play fucking football. That's what it is. Play football. Do your activism shit on the off season, man. Let Oprah film you on your off season, okay? Let her talk to you about your off season. Let her talk to you about you even making the team first. Because now, the other thing that you might not have seen, this is just from my personal opinion, you might not have seen, you could probably now get cut because of this. You can now get cut because of this. And they're not going to tell you they're cutting you because of that. Because no football team wants a distraction. That's why no team really this year. I don't think any team this year has a Hard Knocks episode because nobody needs distractions anymore. And whether you like it or not, even though they can't come to the facilities and things like that, this now becomes a life distraction. I do respect, go get your check. Because Oprah's got the dollars. Go get your paycheck, bro. But in a way, most of us feel like we were lied to because you did say that your focus is football. But I respect you because you know what? Now you became a voice and a voice for people who are afraid to use their voice. And it's not even just a homosexuality thing, but just for people in general who lack confidence, who lack self assurance or self awareness. People who suffer from slight depression problems, and people who can't get past things. Like you being courageous enough and standing out there in a male dominant sport that wasn't ready for this, and just letting people know that this is what I am. This is what we're doing. This is what I'm doing. That's my focus as soon as I get in there. You know what? Once you get in there, bust your ass in this league, and that's it. Bust your ass. At least make freaking special teams. Then think about all that extra shit, man. Like, sorry I drug on so long. I felt pretty strong about this opinion, man. But again, I salute anybody who's like him, as long as you're not pushing it on me, because my butthole's a virgin. Says But I salute anybody who is like him, and even if you're straight and you've learned to overcome confidence issues. I've had many of them myself. That's why I'm impressed that I've been married as long as I've been. I've been with my wife. It'll be 12 years this year, but before her, like I never thought I could get a female. I'm not the ugliest dude ever, but I didn't think I would have a family. I didn't think and it just takes a turn of events in life to kick in confidence and things like that. And you know what? A move like this, where you all you do is just express who you are, and that's it. And you express who you are in a world that generally doesn't accept who you are. But you know what? You're letting them know I'm not backing down from that, and that's a big, big, big move on your part, man. Your shoulders are big enough, and hopefully you support it well, but support it with shoulder pads on first. Then see what extracurricular shit for after the season, man. I salute you though, brother. More, I can't say whatever blessed because I don't believe in that, but I salute you, and you're gonna do good things in your life, man. I see it. I see it a lot. I see it.
So my commentary on Michael Sam, I'm going to open up with the tweet that I sent not even a couple hours ago to Albert Greer at Talking Martini. Michael Sam is doing what he asked the media not to do, which is look at him as a gay football player. Him signing a deal to do a reality show about his life and his journey to the NFL, it's good in concept, but in reality, it doesn't work. I mean, you're a 7th round pick. Like, Just savor the moment of knowing that you are the first uh, openly gay player to join the NFL. The NFL is seen as a league of just animals and savages, and kind of like sexual orientation doesn't play really a part in that. It's a bunch of men, being men in the locker room, and that was kind of one of those things that people were scared of Michael Sam coming to the NFL. But if you look at the players' responses, they're accepting this dude with open arms. No one has had a harsh or kind of rude comment, at least up to this point, in the media.
Except for the few assholes out there in the Dolphins organization. But you know what though, the land we live in a land of free speech. You know what, they shouldn't have got fined, because you know what, we live in a land of free speech, and now it was offensive towards the person, and we're just coming off the Donald Sterling issue, which is a bigger problem than that. But they're not in Donald Sterling's shoes. But again, in the land of free speech, people should be able to say what they should want to say, you know, and people should have tougher skin. That's my opinion, because I talk shit about so many things, and But continue. I apologize.
No problem. And as far as just Michael Sam as a whole, I mean, uh, Bruce Smith, ex-Bills player, had a great quote on Path to the Draft on NFL Network. He said that your being drafted at a position is a reward for your past. Your future is yet to be determined. I mean, him being a seventh round pick is just. It's whatever. I mean, there are undrafted picks who go on to be great players and have great careers. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but Tony Romo's an undrafted player. He's a starting cornerback making $180 million in 2014. So it's not the fact that you're a seventh round pick. It's the fact that you have a lot of media attention around you. I've seen you in the media the most since May 8th, since the draft has happened. I've seen Johnny Manziel in the media twice, and that's been walking into the facilities straight from the draft and throwing balls to Jordan Cameron. Michael Sam, I've seen him at 6 different podiums so far. I've counted. I've read at least 25 to 35 tweets about him, and a couple of homosexual friends that I have on Facebook. Their new profile picture is Michael Sam kissing his boyfriend, celebrating the moment he got drafted. Like the NFL has a new face. There's a lot thrusted upon this kid, and I just want to warn people: the fans are going to talk shit about Michael Sam. There are going to be a lot of derogatory comments about him, and that's still like the mayor said. That's even if he makes the team, because speaking from as an organizational person, if I was in the organization of the Rams, which I'm not, I have no inside information about the Rams. If this kid comes into my organization, we draft him with our last pick in the draft, because Jeff Fisher saw his tape. He was a kind of a fan anyway, and was a little leery at first, but still drafted Michael Sam. Him coming to the organization, and then day 6, day 8, hearing about him having a reality show, kind of puts it in perspective of where his mindset is. His mindset is not on football right now. His mindset is on being this crusader for the lesbian, gay, and bisexual, transgender community. He represents an entire community, a broader spectrum of people who probably some of them might not even watch the NFL, but because he's in it, he's making it a spectacle because of what he's creating out there for the media, and what he told the media exactly not to do on his first press conference. No judgment for anything other than his body of football. His private life is his private life. Yes, he's openly gay, but he wants to be judged as a football player. Him doing this reality show, even though I actually heard through the grapevine that it's not going to go through, this is something you save for the postseason. When your season's done, when your focus is no longer football, because football being a 16-game league, it's a lot of space between that the players have a lot of downtime. I mean, they have 2 weeks of a mini camp, and then they have about a couple weeks in between them before they have to meet for
There's really
OTAs.
once the NFL season's in, there's really no downtime, to be honest with you.
I'm talking
Unless
about prior to the season, though.
Well, prior to the season, it's mini camps, then there's OTAs, and they do separate them a little bit. There's mini camps. Most of the time, there's optional mini camps, a little bit off, OTAs, right into the real practice season, then straight into preseason. And preseason is straight into the league. You get your one bye week. You might get your 1 or 2 days off in the week. Depending on how good you did the game before or not. But once the NFL season kicks in, there's really no off week.
Right. But I mean, let's take that moment from February to May, to that place where rookie mini camp starts. He'll have February to May to document his first season in the NFL. They could use game footage. They don't have to talk to him in the locker room or ask other players, "Oh, what do you think about Michael Sam? His locker is right next to yours." Like, they don't have to go this far as putting this guy on a pedestal. He's already there because of his sexual orientation. So let his game be his body of work. Because right now, I mean, being a seventh round pick, he has the most to prove almost in the NFL, other than the last pick of the draft, who they always call Mr. Irrelevant. So as far as Michael Sam, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he did get cut for reasons other than being gay, but it wouldn't surprise me also if the Rams kept him and he actually was a situational player. I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. No, he's. I mean, at best, I know he's going to be a special teamer. But you know what though? He's got to show his ass out there. Not literally. Anyway, but no, he's got to bust his ass out there. Like I said, man, turn this shit around and make it about football. What LG just said about hearing it through the grapevine, it better be true that this shit don't go through, man. And at least Oprah, if you were fucking smart, which you are, you're a very smart woman. I mean, people at your network should have known better to let this kid get in the league first. Don't offer him this when he didn't even get picked yet. Like, you guys offered him this deal before getting picked. You should have offered him this deal when he was in college then. One way or another. You could have found out back then that he was. But you should have offered him this deal either back when he was in college or thought about this deal while he was in the season, then sign him. Then sign that offer. So at least let the kid make the roster first. Now, what a move like this, man, this puts unwarranted pressure on the organization. My point of view is now first people felt that because he is being labeled the first homosexual athlete to possibly have a long career openly. That's pressure enough, whether he wants to see it that way, whether other people wants to see it that way or not. It's pressure. It's pressure. And then now when you add the talk of the reality show, now you're adding more pressure onto the organizations where it's like, okay, shit, all right, what do we do now? All right. This kid's here. He's on the fence, and like he's constantly missing tackles, but he's got the effort. He's got heart, but he's constantly missing tackles. But then, damn it, our bottom line, like this kid's already got the second highest jersey sales of this year out of this draft, only behind Manziel, and on top of that, his highest jersey sale numbers are majority due to women's jersey sales and kids' jersey sales. Families are opening up enough that that they are using this as a teaching tool for their children, which I'm proud of all you parents who can utilize this time to teach. If you're on the other side of the fence, I'm not on any fence, but if you're on that side of the fence where it's just like, this is repulsive, my God doesn't do this, my God, doesn't approve of that, you know what? That's fine. Live your life that way. He wants to live his life his way. Don't persecute him for wanting to do his thing. That's his life, not yours. You're not living his life. That's his life. Again, I didn't want to bring that in, but that people use that as a means of being against it. You know what? If that's what you choose to do, then teach your child properly. Like, you know what? That's a lifestyle we don't opt to live. We don't hate the person. we just don't approve of what he does in his own private time, which it's his private time, But we don't hate the person. Remember teaching the children not to hate within that. Too many people actually do use it with hate, and but they won't call it that because their way is so set as being the right way. But use him as a teaching tool. Use him. You can use him as a teaching tool, whether you approve of it or you don't approve of it. But this is. He created and dropped this big ass bomb on everybody that many weren't ready for. Many just don't give a shit. Like me, I don't care. Because I'm a football fan first. So I know the boy can play football, man. Get on the fucking field first and play football. What you do when the season, when the game is done, you can go get body or massaged by Bobby. That's not me. I'm not asking to do it. That's do your thing. Own network, man. Let the kid do his thing. Let him get in the league first, man. Y'all should have known better, not to sign this kid right away, man. But like I said, you gave the organization red flags, so where it's like, okay, now we got the pressure of just him being gay. Oh, we cut him because he's gay. So now we're gonna cut this kid. Meanwhile, he's got this show going on. So now it'll be like, oh, we're cutting him because he's gay and because he came out on TV and he's gonna have a show. Like you can't. No, that's unfair pressure to these organizations. That's unfair pressure to this team. That you can't do it, Michael Sam. We're gonna cut this now, but please don't no, don't go through the show, brother, man. Don't go through the show. And I think we got maybe one more thing to get into, man, because that was a deep session. We just ran like a half hour time just on Michael Sam alone, man. And but you know what? We're not afraid to touch social issues, man. And hopefully you listeners, we're going to accept and expect feedback on what we said. Whether you try to blast us religiously, whether you try to blast us thank yous, fuck yous, you homo hating this and that. You know what? Call me a homo hating, homo loving, whatever you want to call me, man. I accept people for who they are. Especially, I accept people who have the balls to be who they are in person, in public, over a person who's gonna be fucking cyber thugging and talking shit and talking my team and shit and this and that. Yeah, if you ever see me, then you'll see how much shit talking my team would talk, man. And I'm about peace for everybody, man. I'm about love for everybody, man. Black, white, gay, Indian, African, fucking your butt stinks, man. You live on the side of the road, dirty, man. I'm about love for everybody. I'm not against giving a homeless man an apple or buying him something to eat, man. Too many people look down on people just for nothing, man. Just ill nigga, your sneakers is dirty. You're a piece of shit. Well, fuck you. Here's a towel to clean it off. That's me, man.
And that's why you're the man, homie.
Fuck out of here. But anyway, we ain't gonna lose no subscribers off of this one because we just kicking. This is what we do. We kick real shit here, man. And like I said, anybody who wants to come up here and have a debate that with us, you're more than welcome. As long as we got the space and the time, man, because we are running pretty deep on this time, man. So, LG, I don't know if you got really anything quick. What else to anything quick you want to say now? But
I just want to say, really, thank you, man. I really appreciate just even the man just doing this show with me, man. This was just a concept floating around in our heads, really. That we just got together. It was like we could just do this shit, make it happen, and you guys love it. We just need you to participate, man. You want to be on the show, get at us, Talking My Team, gmail.com, or at Talking My Team on Twitter. Leave some comments, some concerns, some questions. I mean, we love to cover anything you have. And as far as the hate, I mean, shit, I'm a Cowboys fan. I welcome that shit. I embrace the hate with open arms.
Exactly. I love, fucking hate me all the fuck you want, man. Like I said, man, we just started the talkingmyteam.com. We just made that official this week. We got a couple other things we're gonna make official too. This is just gonna be. We're gonna give quick shout out session. Like I always give shout outs. All episode. Because I love my crews. I love my peoples. Shout outs to my challenge finalists. The OGs. My boys. Lamar, Flip, all y'all. Danny. Shout outs to my RBE family, the new family. ARP, Shata, Science. We're gonna do it up July 5th again. Get those tickets on Eventbrite. Look up Lift My Soul. No, not Lift My Soul. Lift His Soul at eventbrite.com. That fucking event, man. LG, if you would come through, because Adam and them. Man, that shit's going to be crazy, man. Matt Hoffa's first battle back in New York City. These dudes is, man, RBE is going to be a huge movement, man, with this battle rap shit. But, and then shout out to my man ARP, who we was building earlier, because that's going to be something that I'm going to talk about in a later date, because we're merging RBE into my Star Wars event that I talked about last episode. Check out StarWarsHipHop.com, StarWarsHipHop.com. That's going to be a fucking beast in the fourth quarter this year. If you love hip-hop and you love hip-hop tournaments, this is going to be for you. B-boy tournament, DJ tournament, and rap battle, all to culminate in one night. I'm trying to hammer down right now a final venue, but the first nights are going to all be on Staten Island. Shout outs to the Full Cup and the Staten Island Art Cypher. That's where the B-Boys battle's going to be at. Man, this event's going to be crazy. Just stay tuned to StarWarsHipHop.com. All this information that we're giving out eventually will be on TalkingMyTeam.com. Follow all of our Twitter posts, all our poll questions, everything, man. You can check me out on my own Facebook page, Facebook.com/SFH5. I'm big enough to give y'all out my page. Friend request me, man, because you're going to be laughing your ass off. I'm a great follower on there, man. And again, man, shout outs to everybody. Shout out to my Jersey Nets. NETS Radio, Thursday nights, URB20.com. Shout outs to HHDG. I love y'all. And man, shout outs to everybody. Shout outs to my wife, my daughters. Shout outs to Susan, LG's wife. His little men's. We can go on and on, but this is just this episode was so deep, man. We just got to thank everybody right now, and I thank you all, because y'all all gonna love us in the future, man.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to shout out my wife and my kids. Without you guys, this just wouldn't be worth it. I wouldn't be in a good position, a good mindset without my wife. My wife is my backbone. She keeps me healthy when I'm sick. She loves me when sometimes I don't love myself, man. So it's just real. It's just all love. I really appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate all the subscribers, even the subscribers that I don't know. There's some people who subscribe from Massachusetts, from Rhode Island. People I don't even know. I'm not even sure how you heard the show, but I love you and pass it on. Just keep passing the love on, man. The Michael Sam comments just kind of made the show and modeled the show to kind of get better. All we want to do is just get better, man. We want to be on as long as possible and just keep everybody motivated, man. Just follow us all. I'm actually hard on the blogging thing now. A friend of mine, BlazerInc.weebly.com. I have a couple poems up on the website. I'm actually getting heavy into the blog. So Inside the Mind of LG is about to get real crazy.
Yes.
Fan request us on Facebook. Look at our page, Facebook.com/Talking My Team, the fan page. We're getting bigger, man. We're gonna keep growing. We're gonna have some guests on it. Shit's gonna get real. Just look out for us, man.
Yes, and just to wrap this up, if you ever want to be a guest on the show, just go to the contact us section of TalkingMyTeam.com. Go to contact us, TalkingMyTeam.com, TalkingMyTeam@gmail.com. You can hit either one of those up. Like I said, you can hit me up personally, LG up personally, if you ever want to be on this show. But again, if you want to be on this show, you gotta come to my house correctly, because I will fuck you up if you try to disrespect my shit. All right, and that's the end of this show. Talking My Team, LG and the mayor. We out of here. Good night. Peace.
Later.